Hi everyone. I wanted to do a midweek checkup really quick. I don't know how quick it's going to be actually. I was sitting here meditating because I know that there's something that needs to be said, and I'm like, how do I need to put it? What do I need to say to the collective right now? A lot of fear-based issues are coming up within the collective Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. And that's because of the gateway that's opened from the 3rd to the 7th. There's this very big energy, and I know that everybody's feeling it. Like yesterday morning, I woke up and I felt like I was in slow motion for the first couple hours of the day, and it was just like, I want to get going, because I had some work things to do before I even went out because yesterday was the holiday here in the States, before I did like any barbecuing or anything. But I got to spend some time with a couple of lovely women who are on the twin flame journey. And we talked about like the fear-based aspect of things right now, and how, with me personally, the fear of abandonment has come back up, and the energies of Chiron going retrograde and moving back into Pisces until December. This is going to stick around for a while. This is really a time for you to acknowledge the fears and all of the wounds that you still have deep within. I was made aware through a Reiki session this week. A friend of mine does Reiki for me. I have a couple of friends that do Reiki for me, and one of them, she said that she had to stop like right in the middle of it so she could give me the message, because I still have a lot of wounds from my teenage years and my young adult years of like the emotional wounding from being sexually abused. So there's not a time right now that you'll probably, like, I have to keep reminding myself to feel very grounded and very safe, and like make sure my solar plexus and my root chakra are very grounded and open to receive, because right now you have got to feel safe within yourself, because these fears are going to feel very real. The fear of abandonment, if you are in separation from your twin or semi-separation from your twin, or even if you're together, there could still feel like a very real fear of abandonment, issues surrounding anger. And when I was having these discussions with these ladies yesterday, the topic came up that it seems, a lot of Divine Feminine are just like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to be on this journey anymore. And that's totally your choice, right? To take that step back and do that. I'm really urging everybody that if you feel like you cannot continue going the way that you've been going, it's okay to take a step back. And it's okay to really focus on yourself, especially right now. But don't do it out of anger, and don't do it out of hate. Don't do it out of fear. Don't do it because you are like fed up with what the 3D illusion looks like. Do it because you know that you have to grow. Do it because you know that regardless of whether you're in the twin flame journey or not, you're still on a mission. And you're still going through a journey, and you're still needing to grow yourself. To me, that's the biggest reason to take a step back. It's not because you're just fed up. Don't do it don't do it out of anger, because that anger will fester. And especially right now, fear will turn into anger. And I've noticed that within myself, where I have pulled back a little bit. And I did it out of fear, because if I'm the one that's in charge, if I'm the one that's in control of pulling back, then he can't hurt me, which is totally not true, because even when I pull back, it's hurting me. It's also hurting him. So to have the knowledge that you need to grow within yourself, don't just dismiss everything out of anger. And, it's like when they say, don't cut your hair when you're angry, or, don't send that text when you're angry, or don't, you know what I mean? Like, just like, don't do anything impulsive. Don't just be like, whatever, I give up, just impulsively. Also, I've received a lot of emails from people that are of very personal nature. Nothing like, not like derogatory comments or anything like that. But I've actually received emails from people asking very personal questions about me. And I don't mind sharing what I can share with the collective, but there are a lot of things that I'm going to keep safe and dear within myself. So, and I understand that a lot of times people will reach out because I am so open with a lot of the personal stuff going on in my life. They feel like they can reach out and ask me just about anything. If I do not respond to your email, or I do respond and I say that's kind of something personal for me and I would rather not share, please respect that, because my job here is as a healer. And yes, I'm going to heal through my experiences, but there are some things that are like, just respect my privacy, respect my personal space, and know that I would also do the same for you, that I would respect, I wouldn't just like email people out of the blue and ask them certain aspects of their life if they have not already shared that. Because that if I feel the need for you guys to know anything about me, I'm going to share it, because I feel like it will help you on your journey. So what I want to do, the reading I want to do today is, what is it that the Divine Feminine are healing, and what is the fear? What is the fear that has come up that needs to heal? And we're going to do that with the masculine as well. What is it that the masculine is fearing in their life? What has come up in their life that is a big fear for them, and how to overcome it? So we're going to start with an oracle card for the Divine Feminine. And this is kind of this isn't like a time frame. This is really just very general information for now. And I will tell you that during the workshops that I'll be doing in New York and Boston and Atlanta, and Austin, Texas, those are the ones that need to come out. We will be talking about how to overcome fears and how to live your most authentic life, and meditation practices, and really grounding yourself, and learning how to listen to your inner guide, your higher self, your spirit guides, and trying and contacting them. It's really all about quieting your mind and believing in who you are. So we're gonna look at a lot of that in the workshop. So we have 4 cards here. Listen, which is the High Priestess. Reach out, which is the 3 of Pentacles. Well-deserved reward. And moving on. Moving on is the 8 of Cups. That was actually the one I wanted to pick up first, and I didn't. And then the well-deserved reward is the 9 of Pentacles. So, again, I feel like the Divine Feminine is afraid of being abandoned. Or they're afraid. A lot of Divine Feminines are fearing that they're going to have to move on and be single, because the 9 of Pentacles, or they're going to continue to be single. The 9 of Pentacles talks about singularity. It talks about being abundant on your own, being very independent. And the thing is maybe you have to. Maybe the 8 of Cups to me is a journey of self-discovery. Moving on and recognizing that you have to do that in order to gain independence and control of yourself. Because a lot of times we will get very immersed within this journey and forget about growing ourselves and truly opening ourselves up to the possibilities of what the universe has for us. I feel like with intuition, or with listen, called it intuition, listen and reach out. I just found it funny because the High Priestess is all about intuition, and that's what the listen card is. I feel like the Divine Feminine knows intuitively, very, very deep within, that this is a building time. But because sometimes our fears get in the way, that will be masked. The building blocks will be masked by the fear of what has to happen. And so if you intuitively feel like there's just something wrong, like something's just not right, I don't feel right, this doesn't feel right, then it's time to disconnect. And I mean, if you intuitively are feeling from your divine masculine, something doesn't feel right. And I will say it 100 times, you can never fully disconnect from a twin flame relationship, but you can physically disconnect from it. And when you physically and consciously disconnect so that you can gain control of your life again, it is the most freeing feeling. And I'm saying this, don't do it in anger. Don't do it out of spite. Don't just be like, I could say all the things that I've thought before, like, oh, screw this, I'm like not even doing this anymore, this is ridiculous, I don't want to feel like this, I don't want to have to feel his emotions, I don't want to have to feel other people's emotions that are around him, like I don't want to deal with it anymore, right? So that's when you have to really gather your own strength and in a very loving way say, I trust myself and I trust my counterpart enough to know that if I consciously disconnect and I respect them and I respect me, I can grow and believe that this will come back around. Because we sit in a state of, if I disconnect in any way, shape, or form, if I don't consciously always have my energy focused on this one person in my life, they're never going to come back into my life. They're never going to show back up. But when we stay consciously connected to them, where we're miserable, always thinking about them, always feeling the dread that you can't be with the person, that is such a low vibration to hold. You cannot grow within that. You can't grow with a fear of abandonment. You can't grow with pain in your heart or anger in your heart. And the whole point of a twin flame journey, and this came up yesterday also, the whole point, I know what my mission is, but the whole reason why we decided to come here and be on this journey is to bring the loving vibration back to the earth and to humanity. Restore it. Heal it. Like literally through yourself. Through healing yourself, you are healing the earth. You are healing the vibration of the earth. You are raising it. So when you sit with a low vibration and you like purposefully do not disconnect from the person because you are afraid that you're not going to ever be with them or they're never going to come back into your life. And this goes with soulmates too. If you have like a divine soulmate or a divine partner that you've connected with at one point and then you broke up, but you can never really disconnect from their energy and you've tried and tried and tried and tried, because it's possible. There are all sorts of karmic relationships you can have. Somebody asked me one time, what's a karmic soulmate versus a regular soulmate? And I'm like, there's really no difference, because every relationship you have karma in, whether it's good or bad karma, is really how the relationship is defined. Like the girls that I met yesterday, or I hung out with yesterday, are soulmates. They're part of my soul tribe, but we have good karma surrounding that. We're here to lend each other's, hearts and hands with, walking this journey together. But you can have bad karma with people also, where you have to learn lessons and heal. So even a twin flame relationship you have a lot of karma in. A soulmate relationship, you have a lot of karma in. It's not, it's kind of misleading to say karmic soulmate versus regular soulmate, because karma is good and bad. And every soulmate that comes into your life, you will have karma with, and you will have lessons to learn from them, whether they're good or bad lessons, you know, because some people come into your life to teach you really good things about yourself and to really build you up. Those are lessons too. You know, we like have this word lesson, and anyway, I'm going off track. I do that. I feel like somebody needed to know that. So the divine feminine is learning to listen to herself. Reaching out is also about that soul tribe. You know, if you're feeling very, very lost, reach out to people. You know, I mean, there are communities all over YouTube and Facebook and just online. If you feel like you need to have people in your space, in your environment that are of like-minded individuals, reach out. But if there's a feeling within you where you're like, this just doesn't feel right for me right now, you know, and I'm not telling everybody that they have to be in separation from their twins. It's not ideal for twins to be in separation. We are supposed to be in union. But that doesn't happen until the healing begins, or until the healing reaches a certain point where then you begin to heal together. I know in my soul contract, he and I have a lot of lessons and a lot of healing that we're supposed to do separately. And we've had karmic relationships outside of the twin flame journey where people have had to teach us those. So it's, you know, no journey is going to look the same, but you have to do what feels right to you. Just make sure you're not doing it out of anger. And if you are doing it out of anger, find out what that trigger is that's anger, that's that fear, really. It's a fear-based blockage that is making you very angry. And take that lesson and learn it and release it. So let's see what the divine feminine, what can we do in order to understand the fear more? The fear of abandonment. Sorry. People hate when I do that. I have the Fool and the Hanged Man. So 2 major arcana is coming out. And this is exactly, you've got to go on your own journey. You have to have faith in yourself, go on your own journey, and then look at things in a more enlightened perspective. Don't be so hard on yourself. The Hanged Man, yes, it looks really uncomfortable, but he also put himself there in order to look at things in a more enlightened way. And this really is like exactly what I was saying. If you have to break free and have faith in yourself and go on your own journey, don't do it out of anger. Do it because you love yourself enough to know that there are things you need to heal. And do it with a faith that you can't see, but you can feel. You know? What's the saying? Faith is when you close your eyes and open your heart. It's true. Having faith means you can't see it, but you know that it's true. So, it's funny, it's like, they don't need any more cards. That's all they need to know about this. So, we're fighting making a decision. The 9 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. I just realized that I don't even care how long this takes. That's not true. But so 9 of Wands and 2 of Pentacles. If you stay in fight mode, because the battle is really hard. This is not an easy journey to be on. The battle is very, very hard, and it's very real. But if you stay in that fight mode, you won't be able to hear yourself. So I want you, when you're trying to make decisions, do I stay, do I go, what direction do I go in? I'm not really sure. You need to quiet your mind. And how do you do that? A lot of times I put music on, like I'll actually put headphones in so I can drown out outside noise, and just put my favorite music on that doesn't have any words or anything like that, and just listen. Before I start every reading, I will sit in quiet and just ask the universe or ask Source to give me any information that I need for whatever reading it is, whether it's a personal reading or a collective reading. And I mean, it takes practice. I had to do a lot of guided meditations to learn how to quiet my mind. But when you get to that place of peacefulness within you, and your mind stops going in 6 directions all at once, it's easier to make decisions. It's easier to listen to yourself. It's not so difficult to progress forward. Okay, let's get one more card and then we'll clarify these. Because I feel like there are a lot of us out there trying to decide on just this right here, 2 of Cups. That was heavy. Do you see this? Yeah, I sighed big. The 2 of Cups, it's heavy. It's a heavy feeling for a lot of people right now because they're so fear-based on how long am I going to have to fight in this process? How long am I going to have to wait before I'm happy? You know, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for somebody else to be happy. You can make yourself happy. If you have enough faith in yourself and enough faith in the journey, and even if you don't have faith in the journey, that's how you build it. You start to consciously pull yourself back and say, I have faith in myself to learn about my fears. I have faith in myself to learn about the triggers and the healing that I need to have. And again, that's what we as readers on YouTube, whoever it is that you resonate with the most, that's what we're here for. You know, me, I am not a light worker, or I'm not the light worker that will give you the outcome, the full outcome. I'm the light worker that's the healer that will walk with you in this journey and help you to get to the outcome. The thing is the way Spirit works with me is I give you the tools to do the work yourself. I give you the information, the advice from Spirit to work yourself and for you to walk on that journey to get to the outcome that the universe wants you to have. Not necessarily the outcome you're looking at, but the one that the universe wants you to have. And once you surrender that control, you know, once you surrender controlling this journey, because you can't control it, the outcome's going to happen the way the universe and the way Source and the way you wrote it, but you have to have faith. And a lot of people, 7 of Swords, a lot of people are afraid to walk away. A lot of people are afraid to go out on their own and to journey within themselves. Because they feel like if they do that, there's not going to be a twin flame to come back to, which is just simply not true. Because if you're energetically connected to your twin flame, you'll be back. It's promised. You guys promised each other, right? You have to remember that. The Moon on the Hanged Man. So it's time to confront yourself. It's time to confront all of those things within you that you're not allowing to come to the surface. And you have to look at this journey in a different way. You have to look at this journey as if it is for your growth and not somebody else's. You can't always concern yourself with somebody else's journey and the way that they're doing it. Letting go of control and surrendering the fact that you don't have control, because we like to have the illusion that we have control. But that's where the fear comes from. That's where the ego gets involved. And it's like, well, you thought you had control and now everything spiraled. So now what do you do? The illusion of control needs to fall by the wayside, because we cannot control anything in this. We can control ourselves, but we can't control what other people are doing, especially your twin. You cannot concern yourself with their journey. So 9 of Wands, you can send love and light. You can send all of the healing properties you feel like they need from you. But you have to stop energetically draining yourself, because, and that's what this is, this 9 of Wands. My cat. She's so sweet. I'm not really sure what she's like doing right now. Wonder if there's a bug flying around. She's being really funny. This 9 of Wands is energetically draining yourself, like fighting and fighting and fighting. And so now it's time for you to fight for a new journey. Page of Pentacles. Because you're so drained that you don't have an ace anymore in your pocket. You have you have a smaller pentacle there. So now you have to start somewhere and you have to rebuild somewhere. And that's what this 3 of Pentacles over here is really saying. That as you begin to rebuild and you move on and you let go of all of that emotional baggage that you're holding on to, all of the fears that you're holding on to, you get to a very well-deserved reward. Very well-deserved reward. So, 2 of Pentacles. What is this 2 of Pentacles? Ace of Cups. Choose you. That is exactly what I want to say here. Choose you. Choose what it is that's going to fill up your own cup. That's the fight that you should be fighting right now, is for yourself. And it's hard for me to tell women that are so, or just anybody, it could even men who are in the divine feminine aspect of this and feeling, but when you're in the low vibration of needing and wanting and desiring and like pining for another person, your energy drain is the most important thing for you to focus on right now. Because as you heal and raise your vibration, you are healing the earth. And I don't think that people quite understand that. There's a very real energy that we are connected with, especially when we're in meditation and we ground ourselves into the earth. And when we raise our vibration, the earth's vibration automatically raises. And then humanity. And, you know, it's that overflowing cup spilling out onto the earth. See how when you love yourself and you fill that up, it's spilling out onto the earth. And you're raising the vibration of the actual earth. 2 of Cups. Whoa. That one really wanted to come out, and I know why. I can see it. The 8 of Swords. That's why this was such a heavy card. When the 2 of Cups came out and I did a big sigh, this is why. Because right now, the fear of not having it has you trapped in your mind. The fear of not having that 2 of Cups has you trapped in your mind. That you don't deserve it, that it's never going to come, that it's taking too long. And I understand. I mean, it's a very real fear to have. But let's be honest that the more you fear whether you're going to get it or not, the further away it gets. That's just truth. That's the way manifestation works. The more you sit with fear, the more you hold this in fear. My cat is going crazy right now. the longer it's going to take for this to come. The Emperor is at the bottom of the deck with the Three of Swords and the Four of Cups. If you keep trying to control things, as the Emperor would control things, or if you keep letting your counterpart control your own emotions, and you pull away out of fear or rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of never being loved, fear of being unlovable, because you have a broken heart and you're angry and the vibration you have within yourself is very low. You can't stay in this state of mind. And so that's when you pull back and you say, I'm not going to try and control the relationship, but I am going to take control of myself and decide for myself that I get to be happy. And I'm not saying like, go run off and find somebody else to be happy with. No, I want you to be happy with yourself. And if somebody comes along that, you know, if a divine soulmate comes along, or karmic, whatever, comes along and helps you with that after you found your happiness within yourself, great. If that's what you want, then that's what you want. But don't go into pulling back and letting go of your twin flame or divine soulmate, divine partner, whoever it is to you that has triggered these fears within you. Don't pull back out of anger. I feel like I need to stress that because so many divine feminines right now are angry. And that's not loving yourself. It's not loving your twin either in the real, you know, pure love way. And I've had to say to a lot of people lately, empathy over judgment. We don't know what other people are going through right now. We don't know other paths people are taking right now. And you can't presume to understand where your twin flame is if you are not directly in contact with them all the time. Or if you don't know what's going on in their life all the time. You cannot presume the state of mind that they're in or the way they you know, are healing. Because if you think that your twin flame isn't healing, they may not be if you're not. If you are in a state of anger or a state of fear, and there are fear blockages there, your twin can't heal either when you're in that state. The more you raise your vibration, the better it is for both of you. Okay, I'm going to do a reading. I'm actually going to do a totally separate reading for the Divine Masculine, I think. Nah, we'll just do it here. We'll just do it here. I had to sit there for a minute, and I actually asked, you know, my higher self, and they were like, nope, just go ahead and do it. So there we go. There we go. So, what is it that the Divine Masculine are fearing right now? And how to, and if somebody could timestamp both of the readings, like when the Divine Feminine reading starts and Divine Masculine, that way, if you have to like come back or whatever, that would be really great. Thank you so much. There's one. Divine Masculine healing and fear. What is it they fear right now? What fears are they overcoming? Are needing to overcome. That's a good way to put it. Okay, I'm going to grab. It's like, look away so people don't think that I'm cheating. So the first one was seek, which is the Hermit. So they are kind of pulling back, but I feel like they're doing it in a very spiritual way. It's almost an understanding that they have, that they need to. And then we have Win or Lose, which is the Five of Swords. I believe they got this in their weekly reading in their environment. and then shine, which is the Sun card, and joy and stability, which is the Four of Wands. So I think the fear is if the masculines are going through an awakening, the Sun card always makes me think of awakening, or makes me feel like it's an awakening process. I feel like there's a lot of clarity that's happening right now, and they're just trying to find their stability. It's very interesting because that was the feeling I was getting before. And if they're in a karmic situation, I feel like the fear of having to leave that situation and not feel safe and stable anymore is big. It's a really big deal. And this could be, you know, anything. If they're in a relationship or a marriage or whatever. One of the things that was really like, that kind of, I want to make clear to everybody, I take the idea of marriage very, very seriously. And I do believe that in the twin flame journey, if one is married to a karmic partner, that marriage begins to unravel from the very, I mean, and not even like, I feel like it was probably unraveling before. I just want to like make sure that everybody understands that I'm not about anybody being in like third party situations or anything like that. So it's a very real occurrence that some twin flames are already in a marriage. If it is a true twin flame experience that you're in, you have to keep in mind that they are in that relationship for a reason, and to respect it, and to know that they are learning lessons. And even you, if you are in a marriage, if you're in a karmic marriage, you're in that for a reason, to learn lessons. It is never okay to me to insert yourself into somebody else's relationship disrespectfully in any way, shape, or form. So, just putting that out there, letting you know. If they are in a marriage and they're not leaving it, then you have to respect that. Simply put, you have to respect that, right? Okay, so moving on. I feel like they're trying to find their stability. And I feel like even there's a lot of, it's almost as if they're trying to find their stability even if it's not what they want. You know what I mean? It's like they're pulling back. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the Five of Swords to me is that, you know, win-lose situation. Even if it's a lose-lose situation on both sides, I don't feel like their expectations of being stable are going anywhere anytime soon. If that makes any, I don't know if that made any sense. So the Page of Wands, I feel like the Divine Masculine are trying to figure out where they belong. And with the Page of Wands, to me, it's like a journey, you know, they're needing to go on a new journey. And then we have the Knight of Swords. And it's almost like they feel like they have to do this in a very rushed. They feel very rushed right now. And I think that's why the stability is coming up. Because they haven't felt stable for a while. I don't feel like the Divine Masculine has felt stable for a while. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Very grounded energy with the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like they're kind of waiting for their day to come. There's the Hermit again. and the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords and the Hermit. Yeah, really trying to find out where their stability is and finding clarity within that. Let's clarify some of these. It's so, the energy difference between, because I feel like the biggest fear that they have is not being stable or not feeling safe and stable. And they don't feel safe and stable right now. And they're trying to figure out how to do it. And if that's why they've pulled back, they're going on a very big journey spiritually. With this Sun card and Hermit card both coming up twice, the Hermit card coming up twice, I feel like they're really going on this journey of self big time. Because they're not feeling Nine of Wands. What is this Nine of Wands here? Nine of Wands on the Page of Wands. I feel like they're using a lot of their energy to, it's almost like they're resisting a new direction to go. Resisting a new way of doing things. The Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. Three of Swords. So if there's discord going on around them, I almost feel like they want to run away from whatever heartache they have right now, from whatever fears they have. It's very interesting that the Three of Swords came up in both readings. So there's a lot of pain happening. A lot of old wounds are being reopened. Ooh, Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, two very slow energies. They are really waiting for something to happen with the Seven of Pentacles, and then the Knight of Pentacles comes along and they're like, and it's like, but you're going to have to wait a little longer for something to happen. I feel like the growth that they're really needing is within, and they're fighting it. They are energetically fighting the growth that is happening within. So, Nine of Swords. I got to wrap this reading up. I just realized that I have an emergency reading here in a few minutes. So, about 20 minutes. So, Three of Wands. Okay. Yeah, they want more out of life. It's so funny. The Divine Masculine reading always contradicts itself. It's like, they want more out of life. They want to go on a new journey, but they're blocking. What is the fear-based part of them that they're blocking? That they won't be stable? That there will always be too much chaos going on? The fear of not being stable is very, very real. Even though they want more, even though they're feeling a little bit stuck. And we have to remember to energetically support that in a way that is not pushy or controlling. Like, for example, don't go to your twin and be like, you want more out of life, why aren't you moving? Well, they will. They're on this spiritual journey, and as they come into balance, so we have the Chariot on the Hermit. As they come into balance, that yin and yang property will become very real, right? So, if you feel a little disconnected, because that's happening with a lot of twins. If you feel that disconnect and you're getting fed up and you don't want to be on this journey anymore, take a deep breath before you make any rash decisions and let it go. Let go of trying to control this. Because as every week comes along, I will say the divine masculine is working through their issues, working through their fear-based issues of not being stable. And there is a lot of clarity coming to them in this journey. If you cannot see it in the 3D world, that's okay. Because you're not always going to see their healing process happen. You're going to feel it. But you have to heal yourself as well. Okay, my lovely, lovely friends. Remember, all of the workshops that I have are on my website, or you can check out the event ticket links in the description box below. New York City is, wow, only in like 2.5 weeks or something like that. Whew, I can't believe that. And, or like almost 2 weeks, 2 weeks exactly tomorrow. The tickets are more expensive at the door. So if you pre-register, you will be saving money. So make sure you check out the event links. The Boston is the Boston workshop is 27th of July. New York City is the 20th. I'll be in Atlanta August 24th, and I'll be in Austin, Texas on the 17th of August. I promise you that event link will be available this week. So, all right, guys, I love you all. Please, please take care of yourself. And if you want to get a reading from me, fearlessintuition.net. I do think I have a couple more Twin Flame Soulmate readings available for this month. So, I love you all. We'll see you later. Bye.